Christopher Columbus is taught as a hero who changed the world. But the real story is darker and far more complicated than any textbook admits. 3 ships, 90 men, a mission built on greed, desperation, and a geography that was dangerously, fatally wrong. Millions of people already lived on these shores, thriving, organized, ancient. They had no idea what was coming across the water. 2 worlds existed in 1492, one hungry for empire, one unaware it was already marked for conquest. Spain had just expelled the Moors after 7 centuries of war. The monarchy was flush with victory and dangerously ambitious for more. Gold, spices, a trade route to Asia. Portugal had blocked the eastern path. Spain needed another way. Anyway, Columbus pitched his plan for 6 years. Most experts said he was wrong about the distances. They were right. He simply got lucky. On August 3, 1492, Columbus departed Palos with 90 men, modest provisions, and a catastrophically miscalculated map. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, 3 wooden ships carrying Europe's hunger, and history's most consequential mistake. Navigation in 1492 was guesswork refined by courage. Columbus used dead reckoning, estimated position based on speed, time, and prayer. Weeks into open ocean, storms battered the crew. Morale collapsed. Sailors threatened mutiny, turn back or we throw you overboard. Columbus falsified his ship's log, recording shorter distances to calm the crew. Even the voyage was built on deception from the start. On October 12, 1492, 36 days after departure, Rodrigo de Triana cried from the mast, "Land, land ahead." He called it San Salvador. He believed it was Asia. The Taino people had lived on these islands for centuries. They watched from the shore, curious, cautious, entirely unaware of what this arrival meant. Columbus wrote of the Taino, "They would make good servants." The first words of contact already a sentence of enslavement. They exchanged gifts. The Taino gave food, hospitality, gold. Columbus gave glass beads and began calculating what he could take home. This was not wilderness. This was civilization, social structure, agriculture, trade networks, hundreds of thousands of people with their own history. When Columbus found gold, the tone shifted instantly. Generosity became demand. Curiosity became inventory. The Taino became a resource to exploit. The Santa Maria ran aground on Christmas Day, 1492. Columbus used her timber to build the first European fort in the Americas, La Navidad. And with that structure, the age of Caribbean colonization officially began. Columbus did not discover America. He encountered it. Millions of people had discovered, named, and built on every inch of it long before. The word discovery erases them. It presumes that land only becomes real, only counts when a European sees it. That is not history. That is myth. On Columbus's second voyage, 1,500 colonists arrived. The mission was no longer exploration, it was extraction, control, and forced labor. Within 50 years of Columbus's arrival, the Taino of Hispaniola had been effectively wiped out by violence, forced labor, and European disease. Columbus instituted the encomienda system. Every Taino above 14 years old was required to deliver a quota of gold. Culture, language, and belief were systematically destroyed. The ecological transformation was total. Forests fell. Animals vanished. Crops changed. An entire hemisphere was redesigned to serve a distant European economy. Today, Columbus Day is still a federal holiday in the United States. Over 20 states have replaced it with Indigenous Peoples Day. The debate is not over. Across Europe and the Americas, Columbus statues have been removed, defaced, or torn down. The monument is crumbling. The myth with it. Before 1492, this ocean separated 2 worlds that had never met. After 1492, nothing on Earth would ever be the same again. The Taino carved their history into stone. It remains. They were not erased. They were buried beneath a false story that we are only now beginning to correct. Columbus died in 1506 still believing he had reached Asia. He never knew what he had actually found, or what he had actually destroyed. What we call discovery, they called invasion. What we celebrate as history, others mourn as loss. The truth doesn't erase the past, but it demands we face it.